Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're counting down our picks for the 10 most amazing toys on Antiques Roadshow.
You don't think it's a little bit of an obsession?
Yes. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 10. Can't beat the classics. We open with one of the heaviest hitters in the toy industry, the iconic lady known as Barbie.
That's very exciting. I think we should have a look at Barbie.
This guest brought in a piece from all the way back in the 1960s. It's in fantastic condition because this guest never played with it as a child. It was gifted to her uncle by a relative who worked for the doll's creator, Mattel, and was one of the very first iterations of the doll.
I mean, they cost $3 when they were first launched.
Though the guest wasn't sure of the item's worth, expert Judith Miller certainly was, and she put a whopping price tag on it.
This would sell for between £1,200 and £1,500.
Wow. Would you spend £1,500 on a Barbie? Well, apparently, some would. Number 9. One of the first.
Well, I'd buy it for my son.
Train collecting is no joke. Buyers are willing to pay hundreds to even thousands of pounds to get their hands on some of the finest items for their collection. Arguably, at the very top of the industry is Hornby, who have been in business for over 120 years.
Frank Hornby made the conscious decision to make his trains types that could be taken to pieces.
That's what makes this toy from 1920 so impressive. Though surprisingly, this item was only estimated at around £400, however it was recorded in 1990. As this was taken from an older episode of Antiques Roadshow, we really do wonder how much the price must have skyrocketed in the years since.
Although this train set is, from a train collector's point of view, a wonderful thing,
yes,
and terribly important historically, it doesn't actually reflect in the value.
Number 8. Remarkably old. It wouldn't be an Antiques Roadshow list without a piece this old. This doll was believed to be one of Parisian origin by expert Bunny Campione, who also put a date on the item of around the 1860s.
I think she's one of the earliest I've seen. I think she's about 1860.
Yes, it's a little creepy, but regardless, you have to have a deep appreciation for the craft of something made this long ago. It should come at no surprise that this item, being as old and as in wonderful condition as it is, fetched a valuation of up to £2,000. That is certainly not scary.
Did she have a name?
Lady Eleanor, I believe.
Lady Eleanor.
Number 7. Jonathan's collection.
I like to set them up in a diorama kind of thing sometimes and take a photograph of it.
When it comes to famous toy collectors, Jonathan Ross stands at the absolute pinnacle. If you've seen any videos on his collection, you know he is basically a historian of the industry. When Jonathan was invited onto the show, he let us have another glimpse at some of his rarer pieces, including these legendary Micro Man, all the way from Japan.
These are called Henshin Cyborg. Henshin means transforming cyborgs.
Their history is a lot more influential on the toy industry than you think, being some of the first to incorporate a smaller design, which would later become an industry standard.
Mikuro Man.
It's unsurprising that this near-perfect collection is worth a pretty penny. Number 6. A little bit creepy.
My mum was given him when I was a baby by a great aunt.
One look at that face might make you leap, but once you find the courage to look again, you might be pleasantly surprised. This cuddly toy, supposedly of a rabbit, dates back to around the 1920s or 30s. Despite its horrifying visage, it actually has origins in one of the most iconic character goods producers in the world. That's right, it's made by Disney. This is actually supposed to be Oswald the Rabbit, one of their earliest mascots.
And I can't understand how Mickey Mouse came along and he's not so well known.
As such, it was given a whopping £2,000 price tag. Maybe this guest won't be so fearful of it now that she knows how much it's worth. Number 5. Made from what?
Is a little very naively carved, but really beautifully carved nevertheless, spinning Jenny.
With the rising costs of oil these days, toy companies are looking for new alternatives to plastic for making toys. Well, hopefully they don't go down this route. This small item brought onto the show took a unique approach in its design. It's actually made from something a bit more grim, bones. Mutton bones to be precise, so no fancy ivory here as the guest had hoped.
And they would make them and then they would sell them every so often in the local market.
Yeah, okay.
And that would help pay for wine, women and song and whatever else.
Slightly strange, but quite fascinating nonetheless. This piece's strength is in its story. Expert Hilary Kay said the item was from a World War I prisoner of war camp.
You can see these are all hand-carved cogs and wheels and interlocking pieces. And originally, it would have had a linkage from the spinning wheel itself down to the drive.
Right, we thought it might have had something.
The valuation of this calcium creation up to £1,000. Number 4, 70s style.
Well, we really do have a taste of the 70s here.
The most impressive items on Antiques Roadshow are the ones that are essentially time capsules. These dolls are certainly of their time. Known as Blythe's Boutique dolls, these fashionable little ladies reek of 70s style. They date back to around 1972, so you wouldn't expect them to be really worth that much.
The massive head, the eyes, and then the tiny feet.
The tiny feet.
But that's where you're wrong. A single doll alone could be up to around £1,000. The estimate for this impressive collection? £5,000. Now that is groovy.
50-year-old there.
The eyes change colour.
The eyes change colour.
Number 3, a Paddington first.
Of course, he needs no introduction. He is Paddington Bear.
When visiting the Ulster Folk Museum, the team gave us a special privilege of seeing a Paddington Bear plush like no other. What separates this from the others is that it's actually one of the oldest in history.
So he's giving you that sort of, that Paddington disapproving stare that we all know from the books.
This adorable cuddly toy of the bear from darkest Peru has quite the shocking origin. You see, it was made by the company Gabriella Designs by a lady called Shirley Clarkson. That's right, her son is none other than Top Gear's Jeremy Clarkson. With a history like that, you'd better not spill any marmalade on it.
Probably somewhere between sort of £50 and £70 in this condition. Right.
Number 2, a Star Wars classic.
So a special programme about toys would be nothing without a game. So of course we have one.
Was there any doubt that one of the biggest action figure franchises in history would pop up here? Well, this will still impress you. Yes, various Star Wars pieces have appeared on the show throughout its run, but one of the most memorable has to be this collection of toys. The star piece is undoubtedly the Jawa, which was one of the first toys in the run.
I'm going to go basic, better, best. Yes?
You should. You got
that. The condition of the box was even graded too, but at the end of the day, they're just toys, right? Wrong. The Jawa alone is worth around £20,000.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really, really special example of a figure right there. One of the things you do have to watch on this particular figure is that they have been faked over the years because they're super rare and very, very desirable.
The force is definitely strong with this one. Number 1, a Curious Bear. This one's been making waves lately after it appeared on the Christmas special. This lady brought in the bear she'd had since she was a child.
Incredibly rare colour, a rare size, because most of them were smaller than this.
She treated it like any young girl would, and even ended up storing it in a carrier bag for years. So imagine her shock when she realised she'd been sitting on a tidy sum. The bear was actually made for the brand Louis Vuitton. Yes, that Louis Vuitton. It was made in 1904 and was picked up by the guest's father for just 20 quid. Imagine her surprise when expert Bunny Campione told her it was worth around £15,000.
Value-wise, 15,000.
What?
Very nice.
And it's just been put in a bag in the wardrobe.
Well, thank God it was, because it's in such good condition.
Do you have any collector's item toys at home? Let us know in the comments below.
I'd love to find someone who would really appreciate them and show them off a bit.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojoUK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.